What is your favorite style of art? Asks Matthias Garay. I don't know. I really like the detailed Snayad drawings. I think it's my top favorite. But then I really like painting. And I go between the two forms, go back and forth between them almost every week. And it keeps me interested and busy, and I like it that way. Blake Richardson says, do you prefer digital coloring or watercolor? Well, watercolor over digital, always. I like acrylics and gouache too. I've also done oil paintings. They're really fun. But oil painting, you need a special setup. Like, you need an entire room just dedicated to that stuff. Because it's very messy and you need to clean it. And I mean, it's a different sort of undertaking. Jipa Man says, I'd let the painting demon abduct me. Oh, I know you would. Gandalf the Green says, Mr. Kosemen, you like drawing cute-looking creatures. I think you mean hot aliens. What's up with that? Well, what do you think keeps a person going creatively, huh? What? Take a wild guess, man. Take a wild guess. Gandalf the Green says, I think a good artist has to be a little messed up in the head. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Was Van Gogh a good artist? Of course. Like all these geniuses, all these like trailblazers of modern art, even including like debatable names like Andy Warhol and stuff, they're like really awe-inspiring artists that you could learn a lot from. Picasso, Matisse, like these are classical names. Dali, everybody knows them, but there's a reason why everybody knows them. Peppa Binia says, is there any artist that you don't like on the overall? Oh, good question. There are a few, especially modern ones. A lot of contemporary artists I just think are straight up charlatans. Like, they put like some weird installations and then a two-page essay explaining why they are using those symbols. Those people are just charlatans. Any artist you would probably find in a biennial or like one of those fancy Art Basel stuff organizations, they would probably be charlatans and therefore not among my favorites, to say the least. Gustav Klimt has to be one of my favorite painters, says Gandalf the Green. And then there's talk about Austrian painter from the mid-20th century. We all know they're talking about Adolf H. I don't know if Twitch censors this name, but better not take any risks, huh? If you look at mid-century German painter's artwork, like you could see that the man really wasn't cut out to be an artist. He had second-grade skills. This is why I think certain people in the online right are legitimately dangerous. Like figures like Sargon of Akkad, very well-meaning figures, but they would wield political power if they could. I don't think they would be the next Hitler, but if they could influence politics, they would do so out of just sheer personal lust for power, M10 says, is there any reason why surrealist art often depicts sexuality? I would say it may be because most surrealists were guys, but then some very famous women surrealists too, like Remedios Varo, or I forgot their names. One of them is Remedios Varo, another one was Leonora Carrington, and you could even consider, what's her name? Frida Kahlo, yeah. They have like intense a more emotional form of sexuality too. I think surrealism attracts those people with like rapidly turning gears, and usually the fuel that turns those gears is either trauma or sexuality, which if you zoom out enough are pretty much the same thing anyway. So there you go. Probably talking about surrealism, M1 says, I think this is one of the most powerful abilities that humans have. We can set out to paint something but accidentally make something much more interesting. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just like how evolution produces diversity from mistakes, don't you think? Same story with the entire creative process. Gandalf the Green says, sometimes bad artists use modern surrealist art to cover up their lack of skills. I agree 1000%. I mean, they just can't finish a painting, so they draw a weird big skull on the corner. They don't really know how anatomy works. They're like all like, this is like weird shopping mall lobby kind of art, you know. I hate that sort of stuff.